May 9th. This month is flying by. 2017. This is the MMA Junkie Radio pre-show.
Woo.
This is producer Danny in the background. I am Goes. George is here in the background right now talking to producer Jason. Or not producer Jason. What the hell do we call him? Jason the intern. Sorry, Danny.
Wow.
Wow.
2 minutes.
2 minutes before the show starts, we want to let you know on today's show, Junior Dos Santos, he will be the headliner. UFC 211. Cancel your plans. If you have plans for this weekend, cancel them. I don't care who it is. Somebody getting married, whatever. Send a representative. Send a better gift. Do not miss this card. He's the headliner on that card. Zach Makovsky, fighting an ABC 60. He's going to be on the program as well, and I believe we are going to lock down Jessica Andrade. So it should be a good show. Even if they weren't there, it'd still be a good show because us. Right, Danny?
Yeah. You should be listening for us, not for guests.
Good call on that.
Yeah.
Here he is. He's George.
What's up?
What's
Wait
up?
a minute.
What's up, Danny?
Not much. How's it going?
Nah, man.
Good.
That was your opportunity to go. What's up, Danny?
What's up?
What's up, Junkie Nation? Let's see what this Facebook thing has going on. Do we have a collection of solid listeners,
like
intelligent MMA fans?
Like a grumpy old man. Let's see what this Facebook thing has going on.
Let's see here. Fernando Cabrera, Argentina.
30.
I love it when
loud.
we had Carlos Tevez. And for a brief while, let me see, who else did we have that was Argentinian? Gabriel Haynes. Anytime they did something well, they performed for Manchester United, you could hear him in the background going, Argentina. Now Marcos Rojas, Argentina.
We had Angel de Maria.
Angel de Maria, yeah.
Sort of.
For one season,
Stand by.
he mentally checked out. He was soft.
This is your captain speaking. We are making our descent into Las Vegas McCarran Airport. On behalf of our crew, we'd like to thank you for flying MMAjunkie Airlines. Now please fasten your seatbelts and put your tray tables in your upright position because the descent is gonna be a little bit bumpy.
Alright, Junkie Nation, it's time to roll, baby, on MMAjunkie Radio with Gorgeous George and Goes. This is what we doing while we do it, baby. All night long, we rollin'! Yeah!
The MMAjunkie Radio revolution is upon us.
Can you dig it?
There's no escape. No escape. Through the vast frontier of cyberspace and through a sea of stars in outer space.
One small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
We've solidified our combat communications stranglehold.
We are controlling transmission.
With the use of MMAjunkie Radio and SiriusXM satellite radio technology. MMAjunkie Radio. Commence transmission. Live from MMAjunkie Radio HQ in the fight capital of the world, Las Vegas, Nevada. Here are your hosts, Gorgeous George and Goes.
From the fight capital of the world, inside the beautiful Mandalay Bay Race and Sportsbook, you are listening to the MMAjunkie Radio Show. I'm your host, Gorgeous George. With me, as always, is the devious and dastardly Goes. RA's co-host, back east, handling all the producing duties. It's going to be Danny. What's up, guys?
No, it's better when you go, it's Danny.
It's Danny.
Yeah.
It's Sunny.
That's me.
It's sunny.
Yep. Paul James, good evening. He must be in the UK. Good evening, mate. Richard Cook. These are people hitting me up here on the chat. Who you guys got in the main event this weekend? We'll get to it, man. Calmao. Take it easy. We still have a few days to discuss this. Although JDS, good segue, he is a guest of ours today. He'll be calling in this first block of the show. We'll call it that. Ramundo Martin, a.k.a. Showtime, says, we rollin'. Yeah, one of my favorite comments that I see every time I go in there and check the chat. I go in there every day. It may take me a day or so, but I get in there. Kirill Schumann says, what's up from Singapore? Hello. Make sure you don't go outside and spit or chew gum.
I want to go there really bad.
Me too.
My
It looks
friend,
clean, utopic, safe,
yeah,
modern, and it looks like
beautiful
just
women,
a great time.
beautiful
Yeah.
beaches. I'm down.
Ray Perez says, "How yous doing? Pretty good. How's yous?" Marco Antonio Wilhelmson, he says, "Junior, that was yesterday." Barbosa's. We didn't anoint him as a permanent co-host. He was just here for the day, and you know, you know how you hear a fighter is shy or they just don't like to do media or whatever, and that's what he says. It took him a while to really, really get going, right? And
But
even
when he
then,
did,
he
he
would
was
kind of
coming
get in
through.
the shell a little. You could just really tell. I just like to fight. There's others that say it, and then they come here and then they talk, but you could tell he'd probably be a great next door neighbor. You know, like he'd stay.
Oh yeah.
He'd keep to himself. You keep to yourself. But once he becomes your buddy, he's your buddy. Always a hello. He'd have your back. You know. But didn't he seem like the type of guy where you can go, hey, I'm going away for the weekend. Can you feed feed the cat? Here are the keys to my whole house, and you'd feel like you turned it over to a good, solid person.
He's got some training partners that he could go watch live, but instead he's going to help out his buddy that's helped him train in the past. Did that
Shout
name
out
throw you
to
off, by the
Martin
way?
Stabilo as well. What?
That name throw you off?
Who?
Marco Antonio
Wilhelmson. Yeah. Well, there's John Lineker. Sounds like he's from the Midwest, but he's Brazilian. Doesn't know a lick of English. So there is. Everybody's fucking everybody now, all over the world. You know. So all these names are. It doesn't matter where you're at. That's just
If I'm on
if you
eHarmony
look
right now or
if
something,
you look a
I don't
certain
know what's
way,
coming out.
there's no more assumptions. Excuse me.
I said if I'm on eHarmony or Match.com right now, I have no idea who's showing up to that date.
Yeah, I hear you. All right, so JDS Junior Dos Santos will join us today. We may also have.
It's gonna happen.
Yeah, I should have.
He's gonna make it
sounded
happen.
more assertive on that one. It's the other two that are a couple ladies that we're slowly reeling them in. So it may be pretty stacked, but for sure, JDS, Zach Makovsky, the big guys and the little guys, heavyweight and flyweight, joining us here on the show today. 866-522-2846. That means I want you to join us on the show today. And I always hear from people saying, I still haven't struck up the nerve or the courage. Just do it. What's the worst thing that can happen? You call in, you forget what you're saying, you stumble, stutter, whatever, and then we hang up on you and make fun of you. All right, big deal. Like no one's ever been made fun of at school or on, some team. You just kind of get over it.
Get over it.
As long as it's not a daily occurrence, it's just something I would say you get over. If it's daily, you're getting bullied. But for the most part, that's what's going to toughen you up as a person. So call in. Who knows? You may just become a natural, hit one out of the park.
If we come at you, just come back. Shut up, stupid, and hang up or something. I don't know.
Don't encourage. I don't know, man.
No, that's the go-to. If somebody's coming at you, you just go, shut up, stupid. What does that do? The first thing when somebody calls you stupid, what do you want to do?
I don't know.
The first thing you want to tell someone is, wait a minute, I'm not stupid. And it completely changes the argument to now I'm thinking how I can prove to that guy that I am not stupid. Because if you don't say anything, you're stupid. He just called you stupid.
And the fact that they hung up as the mic drop?
It changed everything. Flipped it on you.
I sure hope that that one doesn't come to burn us, but I'll try it. All right, Charlotte, North Carolina is in the house. Doug Matthews, hello from Croatia. That's Sandun Kakilia Def. And a hello from Canada, Quebec, Eric Fex. Nilton Peixao says Brazil, Cigano Gana or Cinturão. He says Cigano is going to win the belt for Brazil, in essence. I know a little bit of Portuguese, not much, but I try. All right, 866-522-2846. I was chatting with Jason B., the intern, before the show, and there was some talking points he presented. That was his homework assignment. I really liked all three of them, but one we're going to save till later in the show. It's a strategic move.
Okay.
The other one I want to discuss is Anderson Silva basically said, that's it. I'm it. I'm out. I am not fighting at UFC 212. He's basically sending his training partners away, and he's just no longer preparing himself. He also is intimating that he just may be done altogether, going back to last week's appearance on MMA Fighting. Where do you stand with all this? I mean, his demand was, Yo Romero at UFC 212,
Nope.
And I've been a superstar, throw me a bone, interim title, the middleweight division's kind of like at a standstill, and again, I'm willing to fight Yoel Romero. What's your problem? It appears you're not feeling that.
No, I'm not feeling that.
Okay.
Let
me.
maybe
I agree with you. I'm gonna present the other side though.
Okay.
He's an all-time great. He did sort of rescue UFC 200. He said, "All right, I guess I'll move up a division and get clowned by DC with 40 hours training." So he did do that. He's an all-time great. He's willing to take on Yoel Romero. That's not an easy task, and he's trying to give the Brazilian fans like another great fight. The division is at a standstill. And I guess the one thing I fear that will be your opening statement, which could pretty much clown me and do away with me, everything I'm saying, is he is 1-4-1 in his last 6 bouts. He did win his last fight over Derek Brunson. He's top 10. He beat him.
Yeah.
He beat him. So at least that one is his latest fight, and it's a win, a respectable win. So now all that together, I'm just basically throwing it on you. Can you throw it back on me? Is there something you have that can, do away with that? Or
Well, basically the fact that he's just won the one fight. And all these years of not really being, I don't want to say fan-friendly, but just not really speaking very much English, not really going out of his way. All that comes back to bite you at some point. And I think this is one of those points where...
Well, who are you, the UFC or the fans? Or
a little bit of both.
Okay.
You just can't give him Yoel. If I'm the UFC, I'm thinking... What the hell? We just had Jacare. We just had Yoel Romero. We're going to have 2 other guys pick them off before they even make it to the championship. Why would we want to do that when we could sell those other fights and make a lot more money?
But if they were interested in doing that, why would they have not given Romero the fight to begin with?
Right, but you could still...
If they were that interested in the integrity of the middleweight division, then we wouldn't be having GSP versus Robert Whittaker.
I'm not going to do it. He's not in a position to... maybe 2 years ago, yeah. But right now, I don't think he's in that position where he can call shots anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Just can't.
Well, it's...
Plus,
You're
there's
right.
got to be like a middle ground, too. That's a little excessive, don't you think, what he asked for?
What's the problem? What do you have the most problem with?
It's just too high. And then
You'll have him fight Yoel Romero, though, right? As long as it's not for an interim title?
Not to make him happy, to save the card, maybe.
But like the minute Yoel says I'm in,
interim is just no.
The minute Yoel says I'm in, then I think that we basically have to peel back and say, well, I guess if he's in, I'd rather Yoel just sit and wait for the winner of GSP versus Bisping. Okay, you guys got this bullshit fight done. Now I get the winner. Now let's go with the real middleweight division the way it's supposed to be, where a champion defends against the number 1 contender. But since he's not willing to do it, and he's willing to fight Anderson Silva in Brazil, I guess I'm willing to take it. I think what it boils down to is what most people have a problem with is it's for the interim title. And I kind of do too. I don't think it needs to happen. I think if they were willing to fight. We already have our main event. It's not like we need the 5-round fight. We have Aldo versus Holloway. Mm-hmm. So just give us that fight. But I don't think it needs to be for an interim title. Now, that said, like I say, he did a solid at UFC 200. I felt like it wasn't Bonner one where he also saved the card by taking that fight on. So I feel like he's done a few, and then he has every right to go. I'm just a pay-per-view guy. I'm the all-time great. So he also did Fight Pass with Bisping. So that's kind of biting your tongue and having a little bit of humility and saying, all right, I got some headlining night Fight Pass nowadays. So I feel like he's shown us a little bit. English has improved.
It has, but just... I mean, what does the interim belt even mean, really? What's the point of this?
It means since the champ's not defending in the interim,
But that's not what it means anymore.
What he wants is this. If he beats Romero, then it forces the champion to fight him and not Bobby Knuckles or Gegard Mousasi. He does cut the front of the line. So I give it up for him, for I believe that's what his intention is now you have to unify. You can't have an interim and a real champ and not unify. So let's say GSP were to break his toe and say, I cannot fight. It should be more than a toe. It's something serious. It's his femur. There you go. And he can't fight. That forces Bisping to now fight Anderson Silva. There would be no one else. There would be.
By the way, I don't think the UFC would have a problem.
But to do that, yeah, you're right. But to do that, he will have gotten past Romero, and to that, I would I would bow and say, well, at least he did get by Romero. It was a shortcut, but he did pick the shortcut of the line, and he fought the biggest bouncer at the door to get inside. I will give him that.
You disrespected Anderson with that bow, though. Always.
Well, if I went any further,
always Luke Eye.
Oh no, Luke Guy, I think in a hostile setting is what he meant. But otherwise, I was trying to give him my deepest bow without basically headbutting the table. Yeah. Plus, I'm not Japanese, so I'm not used to this bowing stuff.
You know that?
No.
I ever tell you what happened to me in junior high?
No, but you got the thing going on with the hamstrings, don't you?
Hamstrings?
Yeah, I think you have tight hamstrings, so you can't touch your toes. Is that what you told us once?
No. I don't know why it is, but I'm not very good at like stretching right to touch your toes.
Right.
And in junior high, there's this test that you have to take. It's the state test or whatever. And there was this one test where you have to like push this
guy's lazy. He couldn't think of the name. He just called it the state test.
Well, because my story's starting to drag on. It's not that important. So I'm just trying to get by.
Okay. But you made it sound like if you were to call that school and go, hey, I used to go there, and I'm telling a story. Do you remember that test when we used to bend over and touch our toes? Like the person on the other line would go, oh, you mean the state test?
It had to do with like the president or something, like the Ronald Reagan regional
I know.
you know. But anyways, you had to like push this thing, and because my score was so atrocious, it actually brought down like the entire 7th grade.
The curve?
Yeah, it was really bad, but it's yeah. You just
what is it you can't do?
So okay, your feet are out like this, right? And then you, with your fingertips, you push this knob as far as you can, right?
Right.
And so people are pushing it pretty far, but look at me right now. Like this is that's as far as I go.
Mm-hmm.
And because it was so bad, the whole curve was thrown off, and I think like we had to do extra shit just to get our score up. It was bad, dude. Everything else, I was an all-star at everything else, but that one score just jacked up that one thing for us.
This was at Greenville Fundamental?
No, this was at MacArthur.
MacArthur?
Yeah. I can do crazy shit. Look, I can bring like my leg all the way up here. I could stretch in certain directions.
Can you put it behind your neck?
Maybe, but I don't want to risk getting hurt. But that's just the one thing I can't do. I don't know why.
Another listener from Croatia, Dubravko Maras. Dubravko, that's a pretty cool name. I've never heard that one before. Doug Matthews, D-Nice is in the house. I saw that name earlier. I think that's the Charlotte guy. Anyway, all right, 866-522-2846. This whole creepy music and Ghost touching his toes, we got to go in another direction here. So anyway, yeah, Junkie Nation, I'd like you to chime in. Did the UFC blow it? Should they have allowed Anderson Silva and Yoel Romero to fight for an interim title? We gave you some information and a couple thoughts and opinions over here. Would it have been for the good of the company or for the bad? Bear in mind, wacky shit is happening right now. But maybe this is them restoring order, too. I don't know. Right now, I feel like until Bisping and GSP fight, that's just a wacky division.
Mm-hmm.
The featherweights, to me, is a division that's flying the way I want it to fly. You have Max Holloway, the clear number one contender, versus Jose Aldo. Putting aside that Conor just doesn't want to come back. He says he relinquished, or they stripped him, and the others say he relinquished, whatever. I don't know. But I like that the number one guy is fighting the world champ. And I like that Edgar and Yair are around the corner, and Swanson just won, and Lamas is picking a fight somewhere. So I feel like anywhere from 2 to 7 or 8 are kind of fighting around the same time as the champ, and that one's got some structure to it. That one's got a championship drive to it, like a playoff system. Middleweight's wacky right now.
What division do you feel like has their shit together the most out of all of them? I think bantamweight has been probably the most consistent without a lot of
pretty legit bantamweight. What's going on?
Around and doing this here, doing that there. I think it's been pretty much the way you would want every division to be ran.
Mm-hmm.
Featherweight's there too.
I think, yeah.
Because
I don't want to go back in time.
Their crazy shit going on, like almost all of them, except for maybe light heavyweight. They're just dealt with such a bad card that they have to do it that way. But all the other divisions are just kind of wacky.
Middleweight could be flourishing right now. For a while, it was just Anderson at the top of the hill, and he fought Maya and Latis. I mean, he was basically at a point where he was just eliminating everybody. Maya wound up being a welterweight. Latis did have a streak going into the fight. Cote, I forget how he got in. Maybe a sub. I can't remember. He was eliminating everyone, and that division it needed some help. And now that we have all these quality people, in comes GSP and fucks it all up, man. I love that guy, too. I always say he's the all-time great right now. And he just comes in and goes, I want to fight Bisping after almost 4 years. And then to top it off, he's just taking his time.
If there's anybody that can do it, it's probably him. It sucks that we have this problem with him, because if anyone can pull shit off like that and deserves it, it's probably that guy. It's the other guys that we should have been bitching about doing all these things.
I mean, wasn't this guy looking to fight last December in Toronto? What the fuck has he been doing all this time? And he needs to think about it that far that only just a week ago he goes, Michael Bisping, I just thought of it. Even though I've been gone for 3 years, even though I've been teasing the comeback for the last 2, even though I announced that I was willing to fight in Toronto, even though sometime in January I said it's you and I, even though in March we had an announcement, I'm still going to take the whole goddamn summer off, and I will fight you in October, he said? After October or in October or November?
He's the guy.
Why not just take 2018 off too and just promise us you'll fight Bisping in January of 2019? What is that?
I get you.
He's an all-time great, but Jesus Christ.
He's one of the one guys that I have problems questioning, just because I really respect the way his career went. He went out on his terms. He went out a way that you would want champions to just kind of go away. Who knows what's going to happen now when he comes back? Maybe he's going to fall under those categories of guys we felt should have left early. But I thought he did it the right way. He did it his way. So he's the one guy that, even though I'm dying to be there with you, it's hard for me to criticize him.
And this is a guy that could come back. And if he wins, just say, so long, everyone. Just literally held up a division for over a year. You know, he accomplishes the fact that he 2-division champ. Price solidifies the GOAT status, at least till John Jones figures out his life, or DC beats John and maybe takes that title. I don't know, or Demetrius just keeps plowing and breaking records. Who knows? But it's like, I love GSP. I just can't believe that he made that announcement like, yeah, I'll be ready to go in October or November. And I mean, just hijacking a whole division. What? Do you think him and his buddies go, hey?
No. I think this is all him.
He tells them, you know, they're playing poker, and he goes, let's just fight in July. And somebody goes, no, be a dick. See if you can hold it off till August. And someone goes, September. And then another guy goes, you really want to be nutty? Do October or November. Let's see if they do it. I mean, I don't know. And I don't see how the UFC's allowing this to happen. I get that he's
cerebral. Money, man.
Well, yeah, money. But at one point, didn't Dana or somebody say there might be a new legion of fans that's just not really all about GSP and this may not be as big of a money fight as everyone thinks it is. GSP on his own was a 700,000 guy 4 years ago. He escaped with a split decision win over Johnny Hendricks. Some of the stock may have dropped just then. But he's been gone for 4 years. Now he's going up a division. He only went over $1 million with Nick Diaz. He had the dance partner in the Diaz brother. Now with Bisping, who's becoming a formidable name himself.
He can do everything Nick did.
I mean, can they get – maybe, yeah. Maybe it'll get to $1 million.
It might even be worse.
Maybe, man. I don't know. We'll see. I don't know that Bisping's established as a pay-per-view star yet. I believe he's one of the best talkers, and he can build up a fight like no one else. But those numbers, has those numbers registered? I mean, I guess we could look it up. Him versus Henderson, what did it do? But I don't know, man. I just feel like you're really, really just holding up a division that could just be having awesome fights between Whitaker and Romero and Jacare, and the comeback of Rockhold and Weidman if he gets together, and Mousasi, and if Anderson has some, any life left, him too. Frustrating. All right, couple calls, and then we'll actually we got to be ready to go here. Danny, you there?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Let's take a break. I got to reset here. I went overboard. One of our guests may be calling in very soon, so I want to get that out of the way. You're listening to MMAjunkie Radio on SiriusXM Rush 93. That guest don't call in, we'll be pounding the phone lines. 866-522-2846. But I'm pretty confident our guests will come through, so we just got to line this up, make sure commercials don't trip us up. We'll be right back, folks. Stay close. Yeah, turn it on. All right, so on Sirius XM, we're doing a commercial, but right now it's live. We're looking at this chat. You looking at it, Gus?
No, we're not.
No? Okay. It says here from Doug Matthews, Conor Mack is the ultimate hijacker. Is he telling the truth? I think so, right? Yeah.
Of course he is.
I mean, he hijacked 2 divisions. But goddamn, he makes it entertaining. Not only the press conferences, but the fights.
Hold on. He did hijack 1 division, but I think he earned.
Well, he held off.
Featherweight.
It took 3 months to say, oh, yeah, I'm not returning to featherweight. And I wish he would have just said, here's both belts. I relinquish featherweight, and just get going with it. But it's like it took him 3 months, and then finally the UFC said, give us that. And now he's hijacking this one.
That one night, though, man. He doesn't knock out Jose Aldo. Do you know what kind of world we'd be living in right now?
Yeah. Or what if Mendez stopped the train?
Mm-hmm. Well, I think he could have survived that one, maybe.
I'm actually surprised with your pronunciation. Most people have a hard time with my name. Dubravko Maras. I got it right. All right, cool.
It's a cool name.
Interim belts are bullshit, according to Rob Robertson. Second cousin to Pat Patterson. And second cousin to
Chris Christopherson.
Exactly. Eat fried moose spaghetti, you big dummies.
Oh, this fucking guy, dude. George, this guy's a savage, man. You should see the
fried moose spaghetti?
You know
I like spaghetti, but...
Last night I asked him how much money it would take for him to bite the head off of a duck. What would that be for you?
A live duck?
Yeah.
Ducks are cool. Why would you do that?
What would your price be, though? 10,000?
Oh,
you?
10,000. Yeah, 10,000. I'll do it.
You'd do it for 1,000.
Wow. All right. Damien Maya vence por segundo por finalización, according to Nilton Paschal. So he's saying Damien Maya will win in the second round.
Listen to the latest episode of this show or the rest of the SiriusXM Rush lineup anytime you want, on demand with the SiriusXM app.
Nilton, do you not know a little bit of English?
Octagons, rings, squares, circles. We cover every shape of the fight game. Right here on SiriusXM Rush 93 and the SiriusXM app.
Nilton Paixão, você não fala pouquinho inglês? Wendy Jean Salas, H-Town's in the house. Hi, guys. Hi, Wendy. Doug Matthews writes SIGS, which is probably short for Cigano.
Hi, guys.
Jim Farrell's from Columbus, Ohio. Great college town and party town. Been there a few times. Sandun Kokila Def. I said that already. He's from Croatia. Vincent Paul Ocasiones says, is it free? Is what free? Kirill Schumann says, come on down. This ain't the prices, right? Vincent Paul Ocasiones says, evening from the Philippines. Hello, Vincent. How you doing? Do you guys watch Combate America on Friday? I did not.
No, but I think this is the first one I've missed.
Yeah.
It's a great show.
Yeah. Kazem Anwar says, Richard Cook Stipe by Immigration Mentality. Whatever that is. Big hug from Portugal, from Susanna. Big hug to you too, Susanna.
Oh, Susanna.
And then I think I'm caught up here with the comments that are coming through the Facebook chat. Now let me see what's going on with these other people.
I got that stupid hair growing on my face again.
You guys are back in a minute?
Oh, someone's calling. I think that's her.
So it looks like we will have our guest. I am excited. George, this is our big guest?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. Note that I did this on the camera, guys. I don't want you guys to think one guest
Wait,
is
you
more
did this?
valuable than the other.
Oh.
Oh,
Yeah.
Let's see.
Is the camera still on?
Yeah.
All right, guys, we are back in 30. JDS is there and ready to go.
Yes.
Anna's there, too, in case there's anything that she needs to translate.
All right, cool.
So they're both there. All right, guys, coming up in 10. Stand by.
To link into the MMA Junkie Radio Network, hit us up on Twitter.com @MMA Junkie Radio. This is MMA Junkie Radio. Here are your hosts, Gorgeous George and Goes.
Our next guest headlines UFC 211 on Saturday. He'll be trying to reclaim his belt. It's Junior Dos Santos. He can be followed on Twitter, at Junior_Sagano. We're joined by Junior and his translator and attorney, Anna. Hello, Junior. How you doing?
Hey, George. I'm doing great, and you guys?
Man, we're doing awesome. Great to hear your voice. You know, I'm so happy because 2 weeks ago we had that world title fight in boxing, and now 2 weeks later, MMA gets to do their version.
Yeah. The big guys are fighting pretty often.
Yeah. Were you inspired by that great fight? Did you get I think you got a chance to see it. I've seen some comments about it, but did it inspire you to, have a strong finish to your camp and now ready to do your thing on Saturday?
Actually, yeah, that was a good fight. I watched that fight, and man, those guys are, I'm a big fan of boxing, and to watch that fight was really good. They did a really good job. But yeah, I was getting prepared. I was close to my fight already, and I cannot say that fight inspired me, but it was a good one.
Junior, could you say almost that because so many people were talking about the heavyweights in boxing and saying the boxing's back and this is what the magic of combat sports is all about, is there almost like a little bit of pressure for you to correct some of those people and say, nope, the action's here in the UFC and it's all about the UFC heavyweights?
Oh, that's for sure. When we talk about the heavyweights, we are talking about the baddest man in the planet. And I think right now the baddest man in the planet is the MMA champion, the UFC champion, because man, it's a much more complete sport, and it's way harder. But as I said before, there's place just for one baddest man in the planet. And I think, I'm going to become this guy on next Saturday. And I think if Joshua or any of this, Anthony Joshua thinks he is the baddest man on the planet, we can take it out in a boxing match. For sure.
But you just said it a second ago. I don't even think you need to box him. The winner of this fight becomes the baddest man on the planet. That's it. You drop the mic. You walk away. You're the baddest man on the planet. You win on Saturday.
Yeah. But some of the guys, they say that the boxing guy is the baddest man on the planet, just to make everything clear,
Yeah. Junior Dos Santos joining us here on MMA Junkie Radio. He fights on Saturday, UFC 211. It's a stacked card, and this is going to be quality main event. These two have fought before, and Junior Dos Santos owns a win over the current champion, Stipe Miocic. Junior, this road to the title, if you can recall your first road to the title, can you compare the two? Do you feel like you're just as hungry as when you were trying to chase down your first world title, or are you even hungrier?
I think I'm hungrier, man, because that first time everything was amazing. I was living an excellent moment, and I became champion. But now, after a lot of things were going on, in my career, in my life, and but one of the things I had in my mind, I'm still having in my mind, is that I am the number one in this division. I can be the champion, and I will show you everybody what I'm talking about on Saturday night. Because sometimes things doesn't work well, but now I'm making sure everything is working well for me, and I'm gonna put on a great show and win this fight.
Junior, what would you say is the biggest lesson that you learned from the first fight?
Well, the first fight, was a really tough fight for us. But the biggest lesson, you cannot underestimate nobody, nobody, because especially in this division, all the guys, they are tough opponents, and they are tough fights, and one punch can change the whole thing. So the biggest lesson is don't underestimate no one.
Do you feel as though Stipe has changed much as a fighter since the last time you guys have fought?
Yeah, I think so. I think he's a better fighter now. He's doing actually great. And I'm happy for him. Because I think he deserves that. He's a nice guy. For me, I think he's doing a great job as a champion. As the heavyweight champion. But the thing is, he doesn't know 50% of the real Junior Dos Santos. And right now, on this Saturday night, I'm ready to show him 100% of me.
Man, I cannot wait for this fight. I cannot wait, folks. It goes down on Saturday.
Either me, man. I'm looking forward.
There you go. It's Junior Dos Santos, folks, fighting Stipe Miocic at UFC 211. Junior, last thing, congrats on the birth of your baby son. That was so cool to see that on Embedded. We're really happy for you.
Thank you very much. Yeah, that's also something amazing, that's happening in my life now. Thank God, I had my baby, and I'm missing him. Yesterday when I was coming to Dallas was the hardest goodbye I said in my life. I couldn't go away. I was saying, my gosh, I'm gonna go away from my baby. That's from my son,
Yeah.
That was painful, man. That was hard for me. But today he's arriving here, and everything's going to be okay.
Oh, okay. There you go. Awesome. He'll be in the same city as you. Will he be in the arena, or is that too loud for him?
No. At the arena, it's too much for him, He's going to be in a safe place, sir. A safe place.
I understand. All right. Well, thank you, sir, for the time. It's fight week. We'll keep it short. Great catching up with you. Good luck on Saturday. We can't wait to see it.
Okay, thank you guys, and see you Saturday.
Okay, we'll see you. All right, folks, that's JDS Junior Cigano. Thank you to Anna for making that happen. Follow him on Twitter at @Junior_Cigano. He wants to fight today.
George, I was saying in the pre-show, if you have plans this weekend, cancel them, and I don't care what they are. If you have to go to a wedding, just lie. Tell them you got diarrhea, flat tire, whatever, but you cannot miss this card.
Yeah, a wedding's like 6 hours long between the ceremony and then, what's one of the last things? I haven't been to a wedding in a while. The cutting of the cake is at the end?
Yeah.
So that's one of those where you have to figure out whatever time zone you're in, where you go, if you're going to meet them, if you're going to, be slick about it, then you got to go, tell you what, I can go to the wedding, but I haven't been feeling good or something, and then you go to the wedding, show up or whatever, throw some rice, and then boom, bone out, go do your thing. Or if it's the other way, then I don't know. Again, depending on the time zone. It'll
probably be the wedding because that one's usually first, right? So I'll make the wedding, but I can't make the wedding. That's the way it should be anyway.
Yeah, I'm just going according to time zones.
50% of all marriages end in divorce. Mm-hmm. You should only have to attend 50% of the festivities on wedding day. That's been my law.
I like that stat.
And if you get a divorce within the first 2 years, you have to give your gifts back. You got to go back to your buddies and go, hey, man, that toaster you gave me, here's $40. My bad.
I have a couple people that would qualify for that. Yeah. All right. Brandon in Louisville, what's on your mind?
Hey, gentlemen. How's it going today?
Good, man. How you doing?
A little horrified, actually. Goes is talking about the tightness of his hamstrings, and I remember a time Goes was telling me about how tight his hamstrings were, and they just threw me a bottle of baby oil to take care of it. I don't want to go back.
Why is there always a siren when you call into the show? There's always a siren. Like, are you on the run or what?
I am on a run. They can't catch me. So,
there's right. Am I wrong or right? Is it him?
There's always something going on.
There's always a siren going on when Brandon is on the show.
I'm sorry. I'm on a forklift and driving it, so it's got kind of a wail to it.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was a siren. Okay. I always thought it was a siren.
You throw me off. Gigi, listen to the show yesterday.
Okay.
You talked about the derbies on your bucket list.
Yeah.
You know a guy from Louisville, right?
I do, man.
You got that kind of pool?
It's the Derby. They have 100,000 people out there. I think everybody's got that kind of pool.
Well, what's the pool, though? I mean,
yeah, because I can go and buy a ticket.
Right. So I know a guy. Then what?
Well, you know a guy. I'm just saying, you need a couch to crash on. I'll
I
find
see.
somebody's couch for you to crash on.
Gotcha. All right.
You don't want to do that with all that crime going on in the background. Who knows what's on
All them sirens. I'll do it one year. I promise you. I really was pumped seeing that, and it's just, not the biggest horse racing guy, but it just feels like a day, that you need to get out there and try sometime. It's unique.
I'll be honest with you, it's not a day. It's like 2 weeks worth of festivities around here. It gets a little overboard sometimes.
How many have you been to?
Actually, I've never been to the Derby. It's too crowded for my taste. I would love to go. I love the track, but the Derby itself, I just can't deal with that many people in one spot. It gets on my nerves a little bit.
You being serious? Or you horsing around?
No, that's nice.
No, but serious. It throws me off. See, there goes the siren again.
Yeah.
It throws me off. Like he says, if you come, I know a guy, and then he says it's the best 2 weeks ever. A lot of fun, festivity. But then when I say how many you've been to, he's like, oh no, that's not about me.
He was better off just going, hey George, I live in Louisville.
Yeah.
Did you know that?
Yeah.
Crazy,
So
right?
I can just stay at your house, or are you going with me?
I'll make an exception for you, Gigi. I'll go with you.
All right. Cool. We'll do it for next year. All right, but we've got to move on. Showtime in Tennessee. What's up, man? It's your time.
Hey, what's going on, fellas?
What's up?
Nothing much, man. Hey, I like when you say that, GG. It's your time. I like that, man.
Cool.
Yeah, I like that.
We're currently in your time.
Yeah. I spoke with Goes, man. I came up on some unforeseen issues, man, but I'm gonna try everything I can to make it out there still, though, man.
For what,
try to make it
the
happen.
Junkie Gathering?
Pull a rabbit out the hat. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, man. I
man.
just had some unforeseen stuff with my college daughter, tuition, just a lot of crazy stuff that I didn't expect that kind of blindsided me last week. But I'm gonna still try to make it happen, man. I believe I can pull it off. Yeah, I'm gonna tell you something crazy, and you guys gonna laugh at me. I actually thought the gathering was next week. So I actually got an extra week, so that's giving me 2 weeks. So that I didn't know that until I
We
saw
talk about this every day.
I don't know, man. I've been so zoned out, man. John Rico posted something 2 weeks from today. Basically he'll be with the coolest people ever, and I had to look at the calendar, and I'm like, man. I thought the gathering was next week.
So that's an extra week then he has.
You think Showtime's like I'm fitting to put a parlay on Stipe in 2 weeks?
I think so, yeah.
I don't know, man. We'll see, man. But, yeah, man. I've been getting a lot of inboxes. The guys got me kind of down, man. So I'm going to have to make this happen, man. I got to get out there, man.
You got it.
All right.
If I got to hitchhike out there, I might post pictures of me on the side of the highway with my thumb up, a bag on my shoulder.
It's not that bad thumb.
Nah.
I think whoever picks you up will be doing donuts.
All right, Showtime.
Exactly.
Well, hopefully
Okay,
you can
guys.
make it, all right?
All right, man.
All right, see ya. JD from the IE. What's up, JD? Oh, Jesse from where? From the IE. Jesse from IE, sorry. What's up, Jesse?
What's going on, guys?
How are you?
How's it going?
Good, man.
Man, doing great.
You're from the Inland Empire in California?
No. I said the AV. I speak retarded sometimes, so
Apple
that's
Valley?
probably my problem.
Where's the AV?
No, the Antelope Valley.
Antelope Valley. Okay.
That's my bad. I had no idea.
No problem.
No, that's all right. I speak dumb sometimes, so can't understand me. When I go to Starbucks and I say my name, I say Jesse, and they go, Justin. So I don't know.
That ain't too bad. I'll tell you. You should be able to take that one on the chin. So what do you got, Justin?
Wanted to ask you guys if you guys could ask Frank Trigg a question. I saw Frank Trigg on Friday because I went to the Combate America event.
Okay.
And he was reffing one of the fights, and what happened at the finishing sequence of the fight was the fighter ended up receiving like 3 knees to the body, to the thigh, and then one to the body again. And then as the fighter went down, Frank Trigg kind of waved off the fight, so stopping the fight basically. And then he called timeout after he saw the guy was on the ground holding his balls. So I wanted to ask Frank Trigg, but I also didn't want to get beat up for like questioning his call. I figured maybe you guys would be able to ask him in a better way. But, like, isn't there a replay that he could have watched? Because when we saw the replay there, it looked like they were good shots. And what ended up happening was the guy ended up getting a no contest. So they ended the fight. And from what we saw in the replay, it looked like they were clean shots.
All right, so
if
there
there's
was
any
some
way you
knees.
guys could
He stopped the action
it.
because he thought there was an illegal knee, but then upon further review, or did he stop it because he thought there was a blow to the groin or illegal knees?
No, he stopped it because the guy fell down, and it looked like he was done. And then after Frank intervened to stop the fight, then the guy started grabbing his nuts and really in a lot of pain.
So he waved off the fight.
When we saw the replay on the screen, you could see that the shots were legal.
Okay, so all right. Now the guy that was wincing, holding his nuts, why was he wincing though, or was he?
Because he got hit in the nuts. So when Trigg waved off the fight,
right,
it should have been over, right? But I think Trigg saw the guy holding his nuts and said, "Oh shit, that was actually an illegal knee," and may have called time.
No, but Jesse's saying that it turned out the shots were legal, right?
Yeah, but he waved it off.
Right. What it looked like happened was that he was protecting his body with his hands, trying to block the knee, and it looks like he might have hit his own cup with his hand, and then the last knee that hit him right in the inner thigh. That kind of might have I don't know, maybe felt like it was a groin shot or something. But the guy that I was with taking the pictures, he actually got a picture of that last knee, and it was right on the inner thigh. There was no shots to the groin at all. So it was kind of maybe he hit his own cup or something. I don't know. In the action, kind of feels like someone hits you there. But yeah, it was just kind of confusing because then after he kind of waved off the fight, called time, and then eventually they called it a no contest for the guy that should have won the fight because he did land legal strikes.
I'll be honest with you. There's about a 2% chance I'm going to get you your answer, but I will try and make it happen. We need to take a commercial, so thanks for the call, Jesse. I'm gonna try. I wrote some notes down, and I'm gonna see if I can, text Trigg this question. Are you gonna do it?
I can do it.
Yeah, and see. Let's see if we can get him an answer. I don't know. I guess I'd like to see it, or maybe this, send us something, Jesse, so that we can see it, and then send it to him. And I just know how Trigg is. Trigg will say, I don't know. I don't remember. There's a chance he may say that. We may just not get an answer, or there's a chance he may want to clarify. I don't know, but that's stuff like that's just going to happen, I guess, in our sport. But I would love to see the video more than anything. All right, folks. MMAjunkie Radio, Sirius XM, Channel 93. That's what you're listening to. We'll be right back.
Come back.
What do you think he does? Roll his eyes or?
They pat down TSA agents because they don't know where those people have been. And because they can. They are Gorgeous George and Goes. And this is MMA Junkie Radio.
I love it. The SiriusXM audience listening across the United States, Canada, parts of Mexico. Danny, doesn't it extend into the Caribbean as well? SiriusXM?
Yeah, I mean, I know they keep expanding it too. As of now, I do believe it does extend a little bit into the Caribbean, but I'm not sure where the cutoff is.
And then we got Portugal in the house, and Croatia in the house, and the Philippines, and Brazil, and Canada. Very cool to see all this. Somebody had a comment here. I wanted to reply to it right quick, and I can't find it now.
What I want to do sometime, George, in 2017.
Oh, Sean Cockerham from Oklahoma.
What I want to do sometime in 2017 is I'd like to do not a tour, but just go somewhere and broadcast from somewhere else. So many
in
people
2017 or 18?
17 or 18, one of those. Maybe in someone's house, like a contest or something like that for a fight party.
Mm-hmm.
We show up to your house, broadcast from your house. You throw a gigantic party. We bring a fighter with us. Something like that.
All you need is a high-speed internet, but we do have to get there the day before to test it, right? That's kind of what Sirius wants.
Yeah, I mean, technically, it's pretty easy.
Or do you have to know uploads? As long as you know your upload speeds, you're good, or?
I think they like to test it anyway.
Yeah.
But we did it once at our house and once at our parents' house, and it's not like at the time they were blazing speeds, but they were sufficient.
Sufficient. All right. So Junior Dos Santos was a guest of ours earlier, and I like that he's piggybacking a little off that boxing match a few weeks ago. But he made it clear the winner of this fight is the baddest man on the planet, and he says if Joshua has a problem with it, he will go over there and prove it in boxing. Are you tired of this MMA and boxing? Yeah, like should it just be a McGregor-Mayweather thing, and if it happens, it happens. If not, not. Or do you like the fact that Anderson still wants Roy Jones Jr. and I think Jose Aldo? Who would? Do you remember who Jose wanted Jason B? Yeah. I can't remember who. He said he wanted somebody as well, and so I don't know if this is just a dollar sign move or what.
Oh, no. I wouldn't want to see the fights. I like the chirping, though, because I think it's important. I think when people do go, Joshua's the baddest man on the planet because he's the heavyweight champion, I do like that the MMA guys chirp and go, hold your horses. He's not the baddest man on the planet. I am. I like it. When he said that, I got goosebumps.
You know what I think would be crazy is JDS defending in a stadium in Brazil. If he wins the title, him defending in a stadium in Brazil, I think could rival what we saw a few weeks ago at Wembley. Now, don't hold me to the 90,000 mark, but if Fabrizio headlined 40-some thousand in Curitiba, Brazil, it does, but, there's maybe run it back with Alistair, the trilogy with Stipe. Or no, I guess the trilogy may not be necessary if one guy's up 2-0, but with Stipe's run, he may, I don't know. There's part 4 still with Kane. A lot of people aren't too interested in that, but with Kane being far removed, then I don't know. I mean, Ngannou's starting to fly up the ranks. Derek Lewis is starting to fly up the ranks. Mm-hmm. Who knows? But I just think a stadium show, because I think Anderson apexed, and especially with him, possibly being done, he's your other stadium guy. Jose, maybe, but God, he only fights once a year. And I don't know. I think of Jose, and I really thought this was a guy that was going to be one of my all-time favorites. I like Jose. He is a favorite of mine because his style's amazing.
It's a nightmare.
He loves soccer. We love soccer. He's from Brazil. He's provided us with highlights. He came through the WEC. I mean, there's really a lot of reasons to like Jose, but he just doesn't fight frequently. And then he can be, I don't know, I think of Jose, I just think the word difficult comes to mind. Like, it's never easy, and
a lot of it's injuries, though, too. I mean, it's hard to put that label on him.
Yeah. And frankly, like, every time we do think about boxing and MMA, it's like it does hold up a division. It does hold up heavyweights, as you're training for a boxing match and getting it all together, because once again, it's going to be 3 big parties to consider. What do you want to make? What are you going to allow the UFC to make, or vice versa? And then whatever heavyweight you fight. He's got his people as well. So as all that goes down and it all happens, it does make a division stale. So, like I told JDS, if you win on Saturday, you are the baddest man on the planet. You don't have to fight Joshua to prove it. In fact, just like Conor put it, Mayweather is a great boxer. He's the better boxer of the two of us. He's still going to go in there and try and outbox him, but he has said that. In MMA, I'm the better fighter, but the one thing he's always said is, if we were to meet up in the street, guess who's coming out on top? It's Conor McGregor. Guess who's coming out on top between JDS?
Isn't that the oldest way to decide things?
Pretty much, yeah. So do you really need to do it? I suppose if they're just throwing a bunch of millions your way, that's hard to walk away from, but I don't know. I start focusing on great things, and I would say I loved what I saw in Wembley. Dana put me in a stadium, Maracanã in Rio de Janeiro, somewhere like that.
As far as being difficult, doesn't every sport have them, though?
Difficult people?
Yeah, and wouldn't you even go as far as saying there's probably more difficult people than there are easy people to deal with on teams? And every team's got some kind of drama at the end of the year, right?
Yeah. Paul George, a lot of people didn't like the way he handled basically disparaging his teammates. And LeBron, man, I mean, that guy gets a lot of hate.
LeBron does a lot of
athletes,
a lot of good shit, but when he does do stupid things, they're so dumb that it's so hard to get over it.
Popovich resting players, that didn't go over too well. I think Golden State did a little bit of that. I guess, whatever, different eras. It's just more of a business. It's still sporting, but there's a lot of business to consider. How about the fact, McCaffrey, the receiver from the Broncos, his son Christian McCaffrey plays for Stanford. We saw him play USC a few times.
It's a menace.
He elected not to play in the bowl game just because he didn't want to take the chance of getting hurt. And so you see what I'm saying? More business than traditions, than sporting. Yeah, I don't know, man. I think it's special to play in a bowl game. We made it there, play in it, whatever.
You can get as easily hurt just walking down the street.
I agree. Well, maybe not.
Maybe not as easily, but it can happen anyway.
Commercial time of Sports Update, and then we'll be right back. It's MMAjunkie Radio on Sirius XM.
Viva Las Vegas with your neon flashing.
There you go.
All right, Ruben Arnaheri. Arnaheri. When I see two O's like that, I have a feeling Ruben's Dutch. Ruben Arnaheri says, Stipe all the way. Mark Vesey says, love both guys, but I got to go with Stipe. This is the Facebook chat chiming in here. Paul James says, JDS gets the W. Kazim Anwar says, great, another UFC fighter wants to fight a boxer. Christopher Larravie says, what's up, guys? What's up, Christopher?
What up, Chris?
Mark Vesey is from Hollywood, Florida. He's in the house. Michael Sanchez, what's up, everyone? What's up? Tony Palladio, Vindo en Você. Watching you guys, I think is what he said. Ray Perez, he says, look at Goes. Look at it, Goes.
Look at it.
I don't, yeah, whatever that means. I think we are caught up here.
Be right back. I'm going to try Zach.
There's that eat fried moose spaghetti guy again, Robertson.
Rob's a trip.
Isn't he a computer?
Stupid computer, yeah.
Facebook chat, the number to call in is 866-522-2846. We're on commercial now through SiriusXM.
I want you guys to think something over. On Thursday, Mike Dolce will be in studio co-hosting. You have an opportunity to ask a guy that people pay a lot of money for advice. You get to ask him shit for free. Come up with some good questions. Little things, man. It's little things that change what you got going on in your life, and maybe he can give you that answer that'll help you get over those last couple pounds or add that little muscle.
And on Friday, our guest co-host for the day will be Andrew Simon, the president of Access TV, formerly HDNet. Your
home
for
MMA
and
Muay Thai.
He'll be here. So if any of you, like Jason B., he's a journalism major. He's doing an internship here with us. So he may have some questions from that end. But if any of you have TV type of questions, save them for Friday's show. Andrew Simon will be with us.
Guys are back in 30, and Zach is there.
All right, cool. It was interesting because Joe Rogan, did you see him comment? And he had something to say with Lion Fight. Lion Fight had someone that was like 150, 10-1, fight an 0-0 Muay Thai fighter, and that fighter got viciously KO'd. And then Andrew Simon, I think, got a little bit defensive. He said, kind of like how you guys are trying to have a 0-0 boxer fight the greatest of all time. So,
all right, guys, coming up at 10.
Hey, man, it's true.
It is, but
coming up at 5.
I mean, Joe did say he's an established world champion. Like, you know, your 0-0 guy, I don't know. I want to pick Andrews.
McEnroe in the ping pong. Like this song, delete me off of your social media.
That's a great song. It is. We usually don't let the song go this long, but I really love this song.
And maybe you don't like the song, but at least like if your leg has to tap or something, you gotta kind of be into this.
Yeah, if you're at an office or you're in your car and you're not tapping along, check your pulse.
Go to hell.
Yeah. In fact, I wanted to suggest if Zach Makovsky has not picked his walkout music for ACB 60, he fights there on Saturday, this should be it.
Sure.
Because the Russian crowd is hard to break. All right?
Very stoic.
But if you hit them from the end of like, oh, wait a minute, I've heard of them, the Jackson 5, they're going to tap along. They're going to cheer as well. Let's see what he thinks. What's up, Zach? How you doing?
What's going on?
What do you think of that walkout song right there?
I'm not against it. I'm not against it. I'm actually still on the fence about what I'm going to use. So.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying? A bunch of those Russians are just like sitting there. They rarely smile. They want to be entertained. They paid their money. But I'm telling you, if you kind of like hit them with a soft side song like that, everyone's heard that song. They're going to start tapping along, and you come out, you have a big smile on your face, and, you know, just before you go in there and do the business, this is it.
Well, the show is in Austria, not in Russia.
Oh, yeah, that's right. It is in Austria. I did see that.
It'll still work. It'll still
yeah.
work.
ACB, it's a Russian promotion, but yes, you're right. I did see that. It is in Russia.
Yeah.
And 6 p.m. start time in Russia, so remember to adjust. You can go on the ACB YouTube channel to watch the fights. It's a 9-hour time zone change. I checked into that. So they're going to start at 9 a.m. our time. And we're excited to see it. Welcome back, Zach. How you been, man?
I've been good. Thanks for having me back.
Awesome. And you fly out tomorrow or tonight?
We leave tonight.
All right. So give me a little bit of...
we get there tomorrow afternoon. So.
Okay. Let's see here. You got Josiel Silva, correct?
Yes.
All right. So this is a lesson to ACB. See this goes? I see Zach's face and Razul Yakayev's face. I thought they were matched up together. And so I put that in the preview that's who he's facing. But now I'm realizing he's facing Josiel Silva. It's just that they don't have a picture for him. So therefore, that threw me off. But doesn't that look like those two are fighting?
It does.
It's right. So ACB, love you guys, but 60 shows in, you gotta help us out here a little bit.
George, I'm gonna be 100% honest with you.
Sure.
I read your preview. And I prepared. I have a Russian question. And I have a question about his opponent. So now I'm scrambling for new questions.
You're scrambling. All right. So Zach, I know you did the homework. Tell me about Josiel Silva. What's this guy bring to the table?
To be honest, this is like a throwback to like my early days of fighting where there's really not much footage that I can find. I've only seen his most recent fight. It's about 3 minutes of footage. That's it. Otherwise I can just see his record, and that's pretty much all I've seen. I think he has a brown belt in jiu-jitsu, but most of his wins are by TKO. The footage I've seen, he looks more like a pretty good striker. Nothing crazy, pretty basic, but solid fundamentals. It doesn't have. He's 7-1. I'm not sure he's ever fought outside Brazil. So definitely like a younger prospect type of guy.
It does look
honestly, this is probably the least I know about an opponent.
Right.
For a long time.
Does that make you nervous, or are you okay with that?
I'm okay with it. I mean, I do like to have information. I think the more information you have, the better prepared you can be. But, what are you going to do? That's how it works.
Right. So we're panicking over here. We're scrambling, too, as we just found out who the opponent is. And you're right. It's 7 wins, 1 loss, 6 of them by TKO stoppage, 1 decision. He was bested once via TKO as well. He's from the Amazon region, DSC's gold team, so it's not like he's a shoot box guy or he's a X-team guy or what's the other team that's very Nova União or anything like that. I'm trying to connect threads and names here. I don't recognize any of those names, so it could be smaller show guys. But I don't know. I don't know if those are the hungrier guys that are scarier or if the more established guy. I would imagine the more established guy is usually scarier because you know a little bit about them and they're not as reckless. Reckless can be dangerous for an opponent, but at the same time, a more methodical thinker like yourself, those are the ones that I think you don't want to mix it up with because those are the ones that are experienced.
Well, they're different. They're different kinds of situations you have to deal with. Aggressive, reckless guy presents some issues, but leaves a lot of openings. A more calculated guy, maybe you can sit back and try to play like a little chess with him, but obviously you got to calculate your moves more. There's not going to be as many openings for you, so you have to create them. So it becomes different that way. Again, I'm really not sure what he's going to bring to the table. He looked in the video I saw like he was pretty relaxed on his feet, setting up the strike, using long punches, a couple kicks. But I mean, I don't know. I really don't have much info to go on. So.
Well, you didn't ask, but I'm going to say something. From what I can see here, literally, the fight shouldn't go more than 3 seconds before you're putting him on his ass, grinding him with elbows, taxing his energy. You know what I mean? I'm really okay. Did you watch The Ultimate Fighter this year at all? Like any of the first couple episodes?
I only saw the first episode.
Okay, about a week ago, I think it was the last episode. JT Money Taylor goes out there, and even though all he's doing is working combos with Dillashaw, this, that, whatever, I'm thinking, I wonder what he's gonna do. He didn't waste but maybe half a second, and he took that French guy Mehdi Baghdad off his feet and just wrestled him. And he made it exciting too, because he was passing guard, advancing his position, mixing up the ground and pound, going for submissions. But you could just tell that the other guy, after round 1, as he walked back to his corner, he was like, what the fuck, man? I got ran over. And I was like, yes, wrestlers, I know you've fallen in love with your hands. I know you put a lot of work. But, man, the one thing strikers fear the most is your wrestling. And I was hoping that other wrestlers saw that and thought, geez, I got to get back to basics, do that, and then maybe later in the first or in the second, then maybe start to open things up. Now you're in his head. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I know. I mean, it's not always so easy. Probably that's what most people expect me to do.
Yeah.
So I have to get him to start to play something else before I can just bum. I mean, I can try to just bum rush, but I imagine that's exactly what they've been preparing for.
Right.
So I have to kind of trick them into falling for it.
How is it that some guys make it so easy, though? Like Jesse made it really easy. Chael used to make it pretty easy. These guys didn't really mess around. They just, boom, shot and got you, and that was it. I do hear that from other wrestlers. Hey, it's not as easy, and I get that. I'm not trying to disrespect you guys, but there are some that make it look so easy that I wonder what is it they're doing? Is it because they're fully committed to it, or they're just not? There's not three voices in their head, trying to fight with what the strategy should be. They're just so committed to the takedown. Do you know? What do you think it is?
Well, personally, I think the best takedown artists I've seen are probably GSP and maybe Demetrius Johnson. And I think they are so good at it because they mix things up so well. I think the guys that you're saying, like Chael, you're right. He goes right out there, gets in your face, throws up a feint, and drives through a double on your legs,
Yeah.
But I think guys like that, and I don't know a ton about Jesse Taylor,
yeah,
but they really don't have other ways to fight. This is the way they're going to fight every single person in the world. It doesn't matter if they're fighting a better wrestler than them; they're going to try to fight that way, And unless you're 100% sure you're the best in the world at this style, then that's not a good thing to rely on in every situation. So I think the guys that do that is because it's the only way they can fight. They can't fight any other way. They're not well-rounded enough. They're not comfortable enough to deal with other situations and set things up differently. It's just the only way they can do it.
Zach Makovsky, our guest here on MMA Junkie Radio. He fights on Saturday at ACB 60. Josiel Silva will be his opponent. What do you have for Zach Fun Size?
Zach, whose advice makes you roll your eyes more, Crew Castro or Coach George Garcia?
That's a good question.
Oh my God, I'm on Hector's level.
I'm gonna have to go. I'm gonna have to go with Crew Castro because he's always trying to give me advice.
So, fighting for you, does it have more of a job feel or a fun feel right now?
I think it's like waking up, training every day, preparing, learning is more of a fun feel. The fight itself is always the job feel for me. It's like I don't know. I'm not like, I don't really have fun fighting. I know it's important. I know I get to learn a lot about myself and challenge myself, and those are all things I want to do. But it's not, even though I want to do it, it's not necessarily enjoyable. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense. This is probably one of the furthest distances you've had to travel before. I know you think you did Japan one time as well. What kind of things have to change for a camp like that for this trip? I know you got to get there maybe a little bit earlier, but is there anything else? Like, have you leaned on some people for advice in this situation?
I really didn't change too much. I mean, I guess because of the time difference, it would actually kind of be like, by the time I fight, it'll probably be like afternoon kind of for Eastern time. So, I don't know. That's it. I mean, like, I really haven't done anything specific to deal with the time change. I imagine I'll just get used to it when I get over there and try to, like when I get over there, I'll try to work out around the time I estimate I'll be fighting. And that's it.
Zach, what was it about ACB where they were able to get your attention and get you to sign on to fight with them? And is it a one-fight deal or is it a multiple-fight deal?
I have a 3-fight deal.
Okay.
We were just negotiating with a bunch of different shows. The main ones that we got the best offers from were ACB, Fight Night Global, and Ryzen. But ACB was really kind of pushing. It really seemed like they wanted me to be a part of their organization, and they made the best offer. So it wasn't a difficult decision. And since I think they've added a lot of talent to their roster, across every weight class, but definitely in the flyweight division too. So it's looking good. I know they just signed up to do another event in California, I think in July.
Oh, very cool.
So looks good.
Yeah. Now, aside from money, was there anything else that they said or offered that caught your attention?
I mean, it was definitely mostly the financial implications, but it definitely seemed like they wanted to bring me in to be one of the main guys under their roster. Whereas I felt like Fight Night Global wanted me to come in and fight Bogatinov right away, or maybe try to build up some of their younger guys. Ryzen, I think, was trying to push for a fight with me and Hiraguchi, which would have been great. I would love to fight Hiraguchi sometime. Yeah. But I felt like they were trying to bring me in to maybe set up a good situation for their guys. Whereas, I don't know, ACB just felt like they really wanted me to be a part of their roster and potentially one of their champion, and it showed in the offer,
Very cool.
They were they had to counter each other with offers and stuff, and ACB obviously wanted me more than the rest. So.
Yeah, no, that's cool to hear. All right, awesome. Well, we can't wait till Saturday. We'll be checking it out. It's ACB 60, Zach Makovsky versus Josiel Silva, part of that fight card. And Zach, safe travels to Austria. It's Vienna, Austria, where you're getting down, and hopefully we can have you back on the show. But thanks for giving us some time on Fight Week.
Anytime. Thank you for having me.
All right.
Always a pleasure.
Take care. We'll see you.
See ya.
Shout out to Hector Castro for making that one happen. Hector, if you're listening, I Want You Back by the Jackson 5. It sounds like Zach's halfway there to meeting us on that one. I think it'd be a good walkout song.
I love and hate Hector because Hector's a great guy.
You hate him?
Man, Colombia always takes it to Peru.
Oh, and he mouths off.
It's been for years that I can't just one time go, in your face, Castro. I talk shit before every match, and every match we get destroyed.
Even in Copa Libertadores, Melgar's been having some tough times, and it's usually a Colombian team that does us in. They have a big game against River Plate from Argentina coming up in Arequipa. So that 7,000 feet altitude is going to be tough for them to cope with. But when we went to Argentina, we got the first goal on them. We lost 4-2, but we got the first goal. So that they must have went nuts, at least for those few minutes that they had the lead. Good on them. So we're going to get the exact information, but it is via YouTube, I believe, where you can watch the fights on Saturday. It's a 6 p.m. start time out in Vienna, Austria. So it's a 9-hour time change for the Pacific time zone, a 6-hour time change for the Eastern time zone. So the East Coast will be able to get the fights at noon. We'll be able to get them here in Las Vegas at 9 a.m. on Saturday. This in no way overruns with UFC 211. UFC 211 has 14 fights, by the way.
Yeah.
5 on the Fight Pass, 4 on the prelims, and 5 on the pay-per-view. So that's an early start time. If you're going to the fights, make sure you check the ticket because they start at 5 p.m. local time. It's 3 p.m. on the Pacific time zone for the Fight Pass. So I just don't see a 9 a.m. show like ACB 60 passing up, overlapping with a 3 p.m. start time in Dallas for us. So I think we'll be golden. But Zach is cool. We followed him for a long time. He's a good guy. And he's one of the 3 superstars I know in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. Jason B., can you name the other 2? No? Megan O'Leary and Sam Aljam.
Megan's from Bethlehem?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. She's from the mean streets of Bethlehem. She went to some Catholic high school out there, but that's where she's from. So those are the only 3 I know from Bethlehem. Jason Straub was in Bethlehem the other day. for a wedding.
Oh, really?
So I tagged him and Sam, and I said, because I know Sam has come out and visited a few times. Did he ever come to us when we were at the old house? I just figured him and Jason might know each other, right?
Yeah, he has.
So they at least know each other or no?
I think Jason may have moved out by
He
then.
had? Okay.
Yeah.
What was it with Sam, by the way? Sam told me the other day. He sends me a text. He goes, I haven't heard much out of you two since my Arsenal Gunners beat your Manchester United Red Devils. And I told him, yeah, duh. Like, what are we supposed to say?
I didn't even know they played. We were focusing on Europa.
I mean, he has scoreboard. Sam Maljam has scoreboard. They did win. I'll give him that. But what would I get out of going, hey, bitch, suck it. We lost to you guys 2-0. I mean, what could I possibly say to him? We lost. So I'm just zipping it.
Means like before the game.
And I'm hoping he doesn't say nothing. But here's my rule. If you chirp before the game, you have every right to chirp after the game. If you chirp after the game, go ahead and chirp. But make sure you realize that it would have been a lot better had you chirped before the game.
Mm-hmm.
After the game, that's easy. You know the result. So keep it to a minimum. He has every right to go, ha, whatever. You lost. We owned you guys. We shut you out, this, that, whatever. But to bury me, no, man. Now, if you chirp before the game and we go at it and we bet or we just, have a good time, then after the game, you can do it at least till the next set of games are played. But that's always been the way I look at it. But, yeah, he was asking why we were so quiet after the game. It was because you shut us out. Yeah. I mean, we have nothing to say. I mean,
may have even stolen our hearts.
Pretty much, yeah. Kudos to Arsenal. Break time?
Break time.
Break time, because we have Jessica I coming up here in about 8 minutes. Still holding out that we might have our last guest, which would give us 4 altogether. And it's looking less and less likely, but whatever. We'll stay positive. It's MMAjunkie Radio on Sirius XM Rush 93. While we do some commercial time here, I will jump in the chat and answer some questions. So if you have anything,
another great one.
Hit us up. We'll be right back in a few minutes. Stay close.
To go back to that test that I was telling you guys, and I remember the numbers. The average score was 21, and I scored a 7. Oh, my God. Yeah. And I remember the teacher even going, this can't be right, and he, pushed on my back, and I think I went up, 2 more points, but that's it. He's like, dude, he just doesn't bend this way.
Okay, in the chat. Where you been, 91? What does that mean, 91?
He's probably talking to someone else in there.
Goes looks more and more like a catcher's mitt each day.
Catcher's mitt? Wow. Jesus Christ.
That's from Graham Dube.
Wow.
Hey, Graham, he actually lost 20 pounds. Give him some credit.
Yeah.
Fernando Cabrina says, excellent program. Fist bump to you, Fernando. So Richard Cook says, if Stipe can keep the wrestling with the boxing going without getting tired, he should win. But I've only seen Kane keep that kind of pace. I got Junior. Well, that's a good comment right there. That's some good analysis. Stipe has been a one-round KO artist, honestly, right? Every fight in 2016, I believe, ended in the first round. All KOs.
He set them all up, though.
And in the fight with Junior, the gas tank was lacking. That's spot on by Richard. So as this drags on,
though? They just had a phenomenal pace, didn't they?
Well, one guy had better than the other.
Yeah.
But that's when you can make mistakes. And some guys fight better when they're exhausted or when they are making those mistakes.
Jason looks like he's critiquing art right now, huh? Mm-hmm. You look like you're critiquing art.
Erica Misalik says, definitely Maya. She's picking Maya. So is Paul James by submission. Paul James says he'll get Gamebred down and get him and choke him out. That may happen.
You're back, hitting him up.
We know our geometry better than your high school math teacher. Octagons, rings, and square circles on Sirius XM Rush 93 and the Sirius XM app. In your car, in your home, and everywhere that you go. This is Sirius XM Rush 93. Listen anytime on the Sirius XM app.
So chat room, those little hearts and likes, I'll take them. I like those. Graham Doob says you could use some oil. So you're the catcher's mitt. You're the catcher's mitt. You could use some oil.
What does that mean, though? What do I have to do to not look like a catcher's mitt?
It's your face. Your face looks like a catcher's mitt.
I need oil on my
Yeah.
face?
All right.
It's like
all right.
nothing.
So Graham Doob, to be fair, let's see what you look like. Which one's Graham? Do you think he's the one getting his hands held up?
He's got to be, right? That'd be a ridiculous picture to put if he was.
He might be the ref. He's kind of centered as he's the ref. Well, all three of those guys there.
Let's go to photos.
There's only one photo. You have to, I guess, friend the guy. I'll friend him. Let's see if he accepts. Grand Doob.
I mean, there's not much you could say.
We don't know who that. Oh my God. What is all that he's posting? Is that Grand Doob? No, he's posting other people. All right. Well, there's not much that Graham Doob shares.
Yeah.
But if he's one of these three, I doubt he'd post if he lost. So that must be him. In fact, see his hair right there?
Mm-hmm.
That's obviously him because he can't be the ref. So Graham Doob trains. Good on you. Respect. A little bit of a widow's peak
a little
on
Eddie
there.
Munster.
Yeah. You know.
You look like Eddie Munster fucked Steve-O.
Oh, he accepted. Cool. All right. Well, at least we're friends now. Let's see here. What kind of a comment are we getting? Jessica I will be our next guest. And she's calling in, all right, Danny?
We put her in here, right?
Sounds good. Guys are back in 30.
Ooh, look at Jason.
What happened?
He goes, I'm on top of it, goes. That's what you want to hear. I could have done without that scene in Ferris Bueller's Day Off when they go to the museum.
Yeah.
That seemed like a waste of 5 minutes.
Yeah, it's a waste of the part of that day, I think, too. All right, come back, semi.
All 10 of them.
Charm, compassion, common sense. These guys have none of that. You listen to them, so you're no better. I am awesome, though. They are Gorgeous George and Goes.
All right, so look, once the show's over, if you missed any part of it, there are replays at 8 p.m. Eastern. Same channel, Sirius XM Rush 93. And the next day at 7 a.m. Eastern. So check it out. And, of course, commercial-free on the Sirius XM app. Many shows are on the Sirius XM app commercial-free. And it's high-quality audio, so definitely check it out. You'll really, really dig the new and improved app. If you want to reach us on Twitter or Instagram, both Goes and I have the same Twitter handle and Instagram handle, at MMAjunkie George for me and at the Goes for Goes. We're both pretty easily accessible on Facebook as well. Don't forget, this week is UFC 211. We have our writers and videographers down in Dallas, Texas. And I already have the schedule for what is going on. If you're in Dallas, Texas, this is what is available to you. Now, some events are closed to the public. Some of them are available to the public. So just listen up here. Ultimate Media Day at House of Blues in Dallas. Participants all the way from the heavyweights, Miocic and Dos Santos, down to a few of the ladies on the undercard like Aguilar and Casey. But, yes, Yair will be there. Cejudo, Pettis, Alvarez, Poirier. And this, well, never mind. It's closed to the public. I saw House of Blues and I thought, okay. But you know what? I guess you could stand outside and maybe get an autograph. I don't know. But it's House of Blues in Dallas, Texas is where this is happening. It's closed to the public. That's unfortunate. They should have made that one available. Okay, here's one that's open to the public. Moeller MMA, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and Boxing, 2909 Canton Street, Suite C, Dallas, Texas 75226. 11 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. It'll be Miocic, Dos Santos, Andrade, and Jędrzejczyk. Free and open to the public. Moeller MMA, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and Boxing, 2909 Canton Street, Suite C in Dallas, Texas. 11 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. local time. Then there's UFC guest fighter open workouts at Fortis MMA, 301 Texas Street, Dallas, Texas, 75204, 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. local time. Your guest fighters will be Rose Namajunas, the number 4 ranked UFC strawweight, and Derek Lewis, the number 6 ranked UFC heavyweight. Namajunas will work out at 6, Lewis at 6:30. Get their way on time because these events get packed up, man. Seriously. So both of those are open to the public, and then they have a UFC summer kickoff press conference. This is where they kind of hashtag a series of events, and I guess it's the UFC summer kickoff is what they're calling it. This is free and open to the public, and it's prior to the weigh-ins on Friday at American Airlines Center, 2500 Victory Avenue, Dallas, Texas. Basically where the fights are taking place. It'll be Dana White, the president, Claudia Gadelha, Karolina Kowalkiewicz, Holly Holm, Betsy Correa, Michael Chiesa, Kevin Lee, Cody Garbrandt, and TJ Dillashaw. Now, Miss Correa said, I want to have my own press conference. You know what Dana White told her? Aw, bitch. No, I'm just kidding. That's her name, Betch Correa. What do you want from me?
You know, Paris Hilton called her earlier, right? You know what she said?
What?
Hi, Betch.
The UFC 211 weigh-ins follow this press conference, and it's at the American Airlines Center from 6 to 8 p.m. All right? The press conference, is 3:30 to 5:30 p.m. So I guess there's like that check-in. The press conference kicks off at 4:30, and then Dana squares off the fighters at 5:15. After that is UFC weigh-ins. Same place, American Airlines Arena. They will have all weighed in by then, but they still have to do the public weigh-in. So hopefully everyone's on weight. I want to make sure we have our 2 title fights intact. We'll know that early in the morning. Follow MMAjunkie. We'll be tracking that live on Friday. And get this, after the weigh-ins, this is before the weigh-ins, there's a Q&A with the cast of Kingdom, along with a presentation of TV series Kingdom. So pretty cool stuff happening out there in Dallas, Texas. Now we move on to our next guest of the day. It's Jessica I. There's 2 things I want to talk about with her. We've covered her for a long time. She does have a fight coming up this summer versus Aspen Ladd. And then I also saw her pretty excited about the possible 125 division coming to the UFC. Here we go. It's Jessica I. What's up, Jessica? How you doing? Jessica, you there?
Hello? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you guys today?
Good. Welcome back to MMAjunkie Radio. You're on with George and Goes. So, Jessica, there was a couple things we wanted to talk about. For one, you have a fight lined up already this summer in July against Aspen Ladd. And then another thing that happened within the last week or so was the UFC possibly announcing a 125-pound division. That seemed to get you pretty excited, too.
Yeah, I really feel like, I have probably harassed Dana and Sean let me fight there. And, it seems like they're making all these divisions, why are we missing the 125 one?
Mm-hmm. So after their initial announcement, they said they may have jumped the gun. But still, where there's smoke, there's fire, they say. So have you heard any follow-up as far as like, hey, look, maybe the announcement was premature, but the division is coming?
Well, yeah, ideally listen, I'm not going to get myself in any trouble because I know your job is to get the juice and, for me not to dish the juice. But, let's just say, I'm going to say this. I'm going to win my fight, and then I'm going to 125. So if that answers your question, spin it how you want to.
I like it. That's a great answer.
I will not be doing any type of tough. I am I'm 30 years old. I'm going to do a bunch of 20-year-old women in a house together. I'm killing somebody.
Well, that was going to be my next question was, would you go the route of the house or would you just patiently wait? Sounds like you want to patiently wait. Is it something about just reality TV or is it an ego thing? Or because here's why I ask. Because if, let's say the press release, they did jump the gun and everything else is true, whoever comes out of there is the champion. I mean, there is something to that type of marketing and immediately fighting for a world title, no?
Well, yeah, I mean, obviously it's no different than what they did, with the, Tough with the 115, and stuff like that. I mean, you could see how amazing some of these girls did that didn't even, go into the house. And then, you see some girls who were in the house do good too. So it's just not my thing. Reality TV is what it is. But, being in a house for 6 weeks, away from my home and my dog and, my stuff, it's just not something I want to do. I don't feel like I need the coaching like some of those young girls do, and to figure out what camp they're going to go to, or maybe some of them are at some of these small time camps and stuff. It's just not my style. It's totally built for younger fighters, I feel like.
All right, this is the last question, then we'll focus on the lad matchup. You said it is our job to get the juice, but what if you are presented with listen, that's kind of like the way things are going. We want you to be in the house with some pressure from the higher ups. I mean, are you 100% against it, or is this just something you'd rather not do, but if forced to do, you will?
Money talks, doesn't it?
I like it.
Yes. She never disappoints, man. She always has great
obviously
answers.
I bring, as much as I might be on this, hard losing streak right now, I mean, nothing denies my talent, my ability, let alone how good I did do at 125. I mean, I don't lose when I'm at 125. There's no question in my mind ever. And that's where you'll find the finishing. That's where they're going to find the Jessica that can finish and find that fighter. So for me, it's if they really want me to do it, then, I mean, I'm sure they'll make it almost enticing enough for me to not want to do it.
Mm-hmm. All right. Jessica I, our guest here on MMA Junkie Radio. Now, aside from all this 125 talk that may or may not happen, we got a matchup that was recently announced. You will be taking on newcomer Aspen Ladd. Talk about that matchup. You know much about her? Is this, what do you think of the matchup?
Obviously, I have so many opinions on it. It's so hard to kind of get it out. Like, really, it doesn't matter who the girl is. Really, at this point, I'm basically fighting for my job. Everybody knows I'm kind of on the chopping block, and I have been. So I think that's something that brings to the table that I'm trying not to focus on her. I'm trying to focus on what I need to do right and what I know I need to do. And that's just go out and, fight hard and put good combos together, let my hands go and, be the fighter I know how to be.
Mm-hmm.
So really, I don't know much about her. I know she's from Invicta. I know she's fought flyweight a couple times. She's back and forth in bantamweight, but that's my coach's job. I'm sure she's gonna find the need to watch over me more than I am her. Mm-hmm. It was kind of fun. I never look at who's views my IG stuff, and I happened to notice that she was viewing it the other day. So I was like, oh, what would you like to know?
You can tell when someone's looking at your Instagram. I didn't know that.
Yeah, your Instagram videos. Yeah. I don't Instagram your Instagram videos, but the little snap videos. I don't do that very often because there's too many snap. I'll leave Snapchat to snap. Snapchat snapping.
Well, now that I know
but I usually don't look at who's viewing it and stuff like that. But yeah, she's viewing my stuff.
Okay.
Just look at the good old Jessica I.
I gotta killed poor George here.
I gotta unfollow some of these porn stars that I'm stalking here. I didn't know that. Okay.
They all know now. Just so you know, they all know.
Goes. What do you have for Jessica I?
Jessica, we hear fighters say all the time that winning can be contagious in the gym. One of your good friends, Stipe Miocic, he's going to be fighting soon. Can you talk about what that does to see your training partners fight and flourish like that, what it does for you? And also, how does your day play out when one of your training partners fights? When do the nerves start to kick in? What do you like to do if you're not at the event live?
Well, Stipe, usually I've been able to go to some of the events. Unfortunately, I won't be at this event. This time I'm actually heading out to Cali, do some cross-training, and go see the wonderful champ, Cody Garbrandt. Get some training with those guys, so I will not actually be there. But for him, I just, I'm never really nervous for him. I just don't want him to ever get hurt. But, I mean, he's going to stay the champ.
How much
He's
time?
gonna stay. I mean, I have no fear from. I knew it. I remember when he fought Verdum, and everybody was saying stuff like it was almost like I wasn't there because I knew what he was gonna do.
How much time will you be spending out there in Sacramento?
Well, I'll be up there only a couple days. My best friend is turning 32, and she's never been to Cali, so we're gonna go do a little vacation for the weekend, and then she's gonna come home and get back to doing all the adult, 9 to 5 stuff, and then I'm gonna go beat some people up, go cross train a little bit up there in Sacramento.
I know in your career you've accomplished a lot of things and fought in front of a lot of cool crowds. This fight is going to take place in a building that's young, but it's starting to develop its own soul with some of the great fights that we've already seen there already, T-Mobile. Do you get excited for things like that still?
Yeah, I do. I do it sometimes. Like, I get excited, but, like, what I've learned, like, the older I've gotten is, like, I only go to social media for certain things because, like, it's like they kill the excitement. Like, these idiotic retards that don't know anything about fighting and all they want to do is insult me. Like, I don't get to enjoy some of the fun parts. So it stinks because some of you guys don't get to see how excited I am. I mean, I guess I'd have to say out of all the social media that I use the most, it is Snap because I have a closed-off Snap and I feel I can express myself without having to hear a bunch of a-holes, opinions that really are just absolutely stupid, idiotic, and unwarranted, I guess.
I want to talk about getting
So, yeah,
excited.
answer your question, I am.
Because I got excited when I heard you were going to be on the show, and it's for one reason, and I'm hoping that this is still correct, but are you still a Manchester United fan?
Oh my goodness, yeah. I've always
yeah.
been. I'm a huge soccer fan. I love Manchester is my number one team, but I'm just a huge soccer fan in general. I think soccer is one of the most underutilized sports, and people don't understand how hard it really is. You want to talk about cardio? I still don't think that there's any other sport next. I think soccer would be the only other sport that can implicate what it's like in a fight. That high heart rate to slow heart rate to back to high heart rate.
Yeah, it's a lot of sprinting, that's for sure. A lot of start and stop, a lot of explosion. So, Jessica, where will you be Thursday, by the way? Already in Sacramento or still back east?
No, I'll be here in this Thursday. I will be in SoCal. I'll be actually in Ocean City. I'm going to go visit some friends, do a little bit of training there that day, and then hopefully leave and go eat some wonderful food on the beach because that is actually my best friend Evie's birthday.
Okay.
So we're going to go hang out there, go visit friends, then...
So Ocean City, where's that? Ocean City's in Maryland or something like that?
Or Oceanside.
Oceanside.
Sorry,
Oh, in California. Okay, so then don't forget, at 12:05 Pacific time on Thursday, Man United has a big game against Celta Vigo. If they eliminate them, they're in the Europa League final. So don't forget, 12:05 p.m. Pacific time zone. You definitely got to tune in. Most bars will have it, and I believe it'll be on Fox Sports 1 too.
All right, I will. I will be tuning in.
All right. Well, thanks for the time. Great catching up with you. Thanks for answering the questions about 25. And we will see you in a couple months here in Vegas when you take on Aspen Ladd here in Las Vegas during International Fight Week.
Let's go get that win so I can come back there and hang out with you guys and do a live interview. How about that?
That's what's up. That's what I want to hear. All right, Jessica, take care.
Like that, right?
You know it.
Bye. Take care, guys.
All right, we'll see you. She's cool, man. I remember the first time we had her after the fight against Zoila.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know much about her, but I could just tell she had a lot of some female swag, energy, and she's telling the truth. At 25, she is a beast. 35 is just one of those divisions where you had to choose either 15 or 35. She chose to go there. A couple close fights have come back to bite her. But she will be a solid 125er. Question is, will they make her go in the house? I don't know.
I think so.
Well, Karolina Kowalkiewicz is one of the top strawweights. Joanna is one of the top strawweights. Jessica Aguilar is one of the top strawweights. Paige Van Zandt, well, she's top 20. But there's 4 that didn't go in the house. So she could just
wanted her to.
Right.
Couldn't get in.
The age, right. So she could just sit back and let all that unfold, or if maybe she can figure something out and they sign her, and pay her to be on, that that could also be pretty big to be on TV successfully over that period of time, and then come out and immediately fight for the title and be able to boast being the first champion ever. I mean, that's something you can never take away from Carla. She was the first female champion at that division. Regardless, it's her decision. Thank you to Gary Alexander for making that one happen. All right, folks, it's MMA Junkie Radio on Sirius XM Rush 93. We got to take the second commercial. It's just a couple minutes. Stay close. We'll be right back.
King Kong has a lot of shit on them. Like a lot, especially Goes. Here are Gorgeous George and Goes.
I only use this Facebook at times for the birthday thing.
Personal one?
Yeah. And it's Dwayne from Oklahoma's birthday.
Happy birthday, Dwayne.
Yeah.
Nice guy. Great guy.
Very nice. But see, I'm not consistent enough to do this, to use it as my everyday tool. And a lot of people don't like to list their birthday. And sometimes around 11 at night, someone will post, "Hey, man, thanks to everyone that wished me a happy birthday." And, oh shit. Because I rely on them, if they don't list that, but others remembered, you'd have to just happen to see their thread, and then you feel terrible that you forgot. And by the way, when you log on Facebook, how many times have you seen this commercial? I'm so close to buying this product. It's called Pure Wave. You've never seen that?
No.
Pure Wave. It's this massager that everyone's raving about. And remember I told you the Taco Bell had the Dorito taco shell?
Yeah.
Everybody knows I like Doritos nacho cheese. And I've not been the biggest Taco Bell guy. I'm a Del Taco guy. And there was one day, this is how far back it was, that this is when I lived with Goes and Jenny. In 2000, at least 2012, 2011, one day I said, "Enough! I'm going to Taco Bell. Do you guys want anything?" And they both turned around and laughed their asses off because every commercial was, I think it's called Doritos Locos or something like that. And I said, all right, I was hungry. They finally got me. Well, that's what this Pure Wave massagers doing it. It's a cordless massager.
That's $1 taco.
And when I log on to Facebook, it's always pop. It's like the third thing down.
That's probably like
it's
$200.
always Jason Ford, and some other Muppet, and then the massage. Boy, that guy lives on Facebook, doesn't he?
He does.
Jason Ford, and then another Joker, and that Marika Edwards. I think she's a ring card girl for Tough Enough. It's either one of those two or both of them, and then the massager. So that thing is tracking. I don't really go on massager websites, but somehow it knows that they got me, man. That I'm almost on the
You
hook.
probably looked up something at some point that had something to do with that.
Yeah.
Aren't you getting a massage tomorrow?
Nah, that's hilarious. Have you seen that?
No.
Look at this. Look at this video. It says, "Damn, white boy can jump." Look at him. He's jumping up. How funny is that? That's one of the most creative videos I've seen in a long time. George Gonzalez, little GG, he actually posted something.
He's good at Facebook.
With it was Bleacher Report. I guess posted it. He reposted it. Some white boy's dunking, and just as you think he's gonna miss, he actually pulls off the dunk. That's funny. All right, Team Marco Z's on hold. What's up, Marco? How you doing?
Marco from Hueco, ¿qué pasa, Vatos?
¿Cómo estás?
Hey, a little bit upset that the Conor McBaby got more Instagram followers than all of us combined, dude.
Yeah, no shit. What's
He's
he up
not even a
to?
week old.
He had 45,000 at one point, right?
57,000 right now.
Wow. Not even one tweet yet?
Yeah. Not even 1 week old at the kick. Famous fortune, man. That's what his famous daddy gave him. Hey, cool interview with Jessica, bro. And, got me thinking, whether they want to admit it or not, the UFC is actually making an effort for this 125 division, and good for them. But they're kind of phoning it in when it went to 145, man, because there is no 145 division. I mean, Germaine de Randami might be the champion of a division that doesn't exist, and then the next big fighter is Cyborg. That's it. And maybe Megan Anderson if they ever sign her. But they're making no effort whatsoever with a 145 division. So what are they going to do with that crap, man?
Right now, it's just being brushed under the rug.
I don't know. I guess it all boils down to at least Cyborg's now off the hook and can fight. Megan's available. He's right. When this division first happened, the editorial asked me, can you start putting together what will eventually be the 145-pound rankings? I spent quite a few hours on this. And I sent them back something. I'd have to go back and look. It was sometime in December. I keep it all. But I told them, there's like 8 quality 145ers. And then after that, there's an enormous drop-off. We rank 15 and 3 honorable mentions. I'm going to be putting up some bullshit from like 9 to 15. There just isn't a division. We can probably stretch it out to 10, but they're just, these people don't exist. So what can we do? All right, let's go back to build it and they will come. Yeah, it's true. I mean, there's going to be enough 45-pounders, 145-pounders out there. But that one's one of those where when you built it with Ronda, you were able to just put your hand up to your eyes and go, yeah, I see them coming. That's them right there. And with with 25, you may need some binoculars, maybe the hand. You get away with the hand or the binoculars. You go, yep, that's them. But with 45, I mean, Caltech has that big satellite. What do you call it?
Griffith Observatory?
The
telescope.
Telescope. I don't even think you can see them with that. I don't think there's. Where are they? I mean, I'm scanning the whole world here, and there's just not enough 45-pounders. So, what do? You definitely don't want. I don't want those girls cutting to the 35. I don't think we should just go down that road. If you can make some money off them and help in the UFC, I don't blame them for saying, well, Cyborg's just going to fight these super fights along the way, and whatever. But I think they'll just maybe either send them all back to Invicta or let someone else tackle them, or just isolate it and just say, hey, look, this is a great fight that we have under the UFC banner. Come watch it. And I would do that. But I just don't think there's enough for a division on that one.
I like what 115 did with the Ultimate Fighter. I think it just really presented a lot of them at one time, and whether we thought they were great or not, at least we knew their names.
With 15? Yeah, with 15 we knew they existed and they were good.
I wish anytime they did a new division, they did it that way. That way you automatically have your roster.
Do you want them to do that for 45?
I wish they would have. I think it's too late now. Maybe it's
But there's not enough of them. I don't think there's 16 of them. That's the problem.
Well, there's not enough quality ones, right?
Right.
But we didn't know that in 115. I mean, we knew most of the names, but some of them slipped through.
Angela Hill, I think, was 1-0. Yeah, you're right. I mean, she became one. But,
it doesn't make them
this one would be
instant
tougher.
Stars, but it makes them somewhat relevant.
You could do 8 45 women and then do 8 middleweight men, or something like that. Maybe split it in 2. But it's just not there, and I don't want to take away anything from, I think, Megan Anderson's quality. I think Cyborg's quality. D. Randami is really a 35er, man. But, all right, she's the champ right now. We did it. So, like I said, there's about 8 of them, 6 of them, 8 of them. You can isolate them and just have some great fights under the UFC banner. But to make a whole division, I don't know. I suppose I really don't give a shit, honestly, at this point.
Last thing, bro. This card this weekend is fantastic. I freaking love it. And the one fight that is like, for me, it's flying under the radar, and I think it's going to be a cool fight, is Hick Diaz, Jason Knight, fighting Chas Kelly right on the freaking prelims before the feature prelim. I'm really on the bandwagon with Jason Knight, man. I want to say what this kick had, and that's what I got for today, man. We got to leave you guys. Catch you guys tomorrow.
Yeah. All right. Thanks for the call, Marco. All right. Yeah, we do have to wrap up here. I'm looking forward to that, too. What's his face? Gally from Toronto was asking me about that. He wants to include Skelly in his 3-teamer. I think if I had to make a choice, Skelly would be it. But there's so many fights, I'd probably just avoid it because I think
you bet now with your
I think Diaz is a pretty tough guy, and not Diaz, sorry, Knight is a pretty tough guy. I'd probably stay away from it. The other one is Barzola, the Peruvian. He was asking me about that one too. He's fighting Gabriel Benitez, right? Yeah. And Benitez looked good in his last fight. That one's a tough one too, man. I wish I had more from them. So I told him, look, I probably would just stay away from that one, and I'd pick some other fights. That's the best I could do. Thank you to Jessica I for her time today. Thank you to Zach Makovsky for his time today. And, of course, Junior Dos Santos on the show earlier. The callers, you guys stepped up. You guys did a great job. Danny, good job producing. Jason B, hustling over here. Goes, kicking ass. And, of course, I took it to another level. I was fantastic. Let's just be honest here. All right, we'll be back tomorrow. We have Ryan Couture. He'll be co-hosting with us. Maybe a couple other names. We'll see. Dolce on Thursday. Andrew Simon on Friday. Be champions.
Cost me my very last